couple of years ago, I spoke with a lady who had cancer and whom we knew. So I spoke to her one day and I said, "Hey, how are you feeling? Are you scared? What's going to happen next?" And something that she said I was not really prepared to hear. She said, I've got the peace of the Holy Spirit in my heart, and I know that God is in control. I know may His will be done ultimately. And when I heard that, that's not what usually people who are young and encounter a terminal disease say. That's not the way of people. That's not the natural response. But she was joyful. She had something in us, and that was evident. It was the Holy Spirit. It was the love of Jesus. It was longing for Jesus. And she's going to be okay if something like that did happen, if she did die. And she said she was going to be okay. And I was reading James chapter 1, verse 2 and 3. It says, "Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various kinds of trials." And when I read that, I thought, I've read this verse many times, but I never thought so deeply about this. What does it mean to consider it all joy? I think considering all joy stems from the love of Jesus, a relationship with Jesus Christ. If you have the Holy Spirit in you, then your posture, your outlook about life, your attitude, your disposition, they all shift and your perspective shifts. You're not worried about what's going to happen in this world, what's going to happen around us. You know that God is ultimately faithful, He's sovereign, He provides, He is good God. So you depend on that. Your joy comes from knowing the Holy Spirit, knowing God, knowing that God is ultimately in control. That's where our joy comes from. And when you consider it all joyful, when you come across a trial in your life today, then you can always count on God. You can say, I know that my God is faithful, He is good, and He's got me. And when you have that, then you have endurance. That's what the next thing James says. Once you encounter trials, when you consider it joyful, you'll be able to endure it. That means the ability to handle hardship, the ability to withstand adversity in our lives. That all comes from knowing that God is faithful, having joy in God. After you are done enduring and you have endurance in your life, the ability to withstand, then you mature, you become complete, it says. You become perfect, it says. Not in the sense that you're perfect, but in the sense that now you are in a place where you can really trust God and have that perspective. And that lady certainly had that perspective. She was mature in that. When she encountered that trial, she said, I know this is not what I wanted, but my God has got me. My God is in control. She knew that, and she knew that because of that, she had that peace and joy in her life. So today, I just wanted to encourage you that may you have that same peace of Jesus Christ.